So today is God's nomen, Hashem's name. What does this mean? First of all, Hashem's name has 4 letters. Yud, then Hey, then Vav, and then a Hey. These are the 4 days between Yom Kippur and Sukkot. What's happening? So let's use an analogy of marriage, because again, marriage is a sacred union. It's not a partnership. It's not an enterprise. It's not a project that we embark upon with somebody else. It's a sacred union of 2 half souls. And marriage only exists in the world because it's a reflection of the Jew and God. And Sinai was the marriage. And it can only work if it's a sacred union. So let's talk about a marriage. Rosh Hashanah is the chuppah. Elul, let's go back a bit. Elul was we were dating. Let's go back even further. The emes is we were always married, but we messed up. Go back to the beginning of the summer. Shavuos, the giving of the Torah, that's the chuppah, the marriage. But then came the golden calf. We betrayed. We betrayed our divine spouse. All is lost? No. Notwithstanding the betrayal, the golden calf, then came Tisha B'Av, the house in ruins. The house in ruins. Exile, estrangement. But not forever. It cannot be, because we are one. So then comes Elul, and we tentatively reconnect. We're dating, getting to know each other again. We want to rebuild, reconnect. I mean, why reconnect? Because the essence, the essential connection is there and cannot be severed. So there comes Elul, king in the field. This is, we go out on a date. You go out to the park. You go to a beautiful lake. King in the field. And then we're ready to renew the vows, as it were. That's Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah, the blowing of the shofar is, Hashem says, you are betrothed to me, and we say, I'm yours. That's the sound of the shofar. What happens after Chosin and Kala under the chuppah? Then they go to the yichud room for the first time in their lives in such a way they're in seclusion alone. That's Yom Kippur. In the Ila, when the doors are closed, that's the yichud room. The doors are closed. There's no one there. But Chosin and Kala, the Eibishter, God and every Jew are locked together. Their essential wonders shining and illuminating. That's Ne'ilah. Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. That was yesterday, last night. The essential, we are one soul, revealed now in a way that was never revealed before. And what has caused this revelation? The estrangement, the distance, the betrayal, the anger, the division. By healing it, we are connecting and revealing our connection ever deeper than it was before. That's the only way to go. Otherwise, it's over. Can't go back to the way it was, because that was destroyed, betrayed. So either it's over or it gets deeper to a whole new level. And for a year, there's no option. can only get deeper because in essence we are one. So that is what that Yom Kippur is, the Yichud room, being alone right after the chuppah, Chosin and Kala. Then what happens? Then Chosin and Kala walk hand in hand, as it were. By other Chassidim, Chabad actually walk hand in hand. It's the first time in their life, that they touch each other. This in the Yichud room. And they walk hand in hand. That's what they do, believe it or not. And they come where? To the big celebration. But there's that bridge between the private Yichud room and the reception hall. It's at least 4 steps, Daled Amas. Without going into what that means in Halakha. It's a transition from the private domain to the public domain. Those 4 steps are the 4 days, the 4 cubits, the 4 days between Shana and Yom Kippur. I'm sorry, between Yom Kippur and Sukkot. And then Sukkot is a big, noisy celebration. The whole world's invited to celebrate. It's in the Sukkah. Everybody can hear us singing. And then we take it to the street, like the Rebbe demanded. That's Sukkot. On Sukkot, we brought 70 offerings for the nations of the world. The renewed union between Hashem and his soulmate, his child, the very levels to our relationship, then manifests, as we just learned in the Maimer, in the message to the world, illuminate the world with the joy of being a Jew and the message of the Jew. That's Sukkot. Simchas Beis She'eva. So where are we now? These 4 days. And today is the first letter of Hashem's name. Let me explain that. What's God's name got to do with this? Answer is everything. Because Yom Kippur, we connected to God beyond his name. And name, friends, means a description. And God's beyond all description. But he does have names, 7 holy names, in fact, of which the Tetragrammaton, the Yud Kei Vav Kei, is the holiest name. But the Yesod I'll address that in a moment. What's Yom Kippur? Yom Kippur is connecting to the essence of God beyond manifestations, the I am of God beyond names. That's why Yom Kippur there are 5 services. 4 correspond to the 4 letters of Hashem's name. Ne'ilah, beyond you, pure you, unfiltered. Yichud room. In the deepest embrace, not through any medium. There we have to bring it down, where it's connected essentially to core cellular level. Now it's got to manifest in consciousness and all the levels of our being, and we've got to illuminate the world with this. So that's the 4 days after Yom Kippur. The name of God and the 4 letters of Hashem's name are the rungs where we're bringing down, revealing this essential bond through the levels of existence, which has many models, starting with existence has 4 levels, friends. It does. There's the inanimate, starting from the bottom. Then there's plant life, 2, 3, animal life, and 4, human life. We're bringing this all the way down into all the levels of existence. They correspond to the 4 letters of Hashem's name and the 4 spiritual worlds. And they correspond to the 4 levels within the human being himself, who's a microcosm of the world. I do, that's the inanimate part of me. I feel, that's the plant life that corresponds to emotions. Because plant life grows, it's growing. Emotions develop and grow, and very easily. It doesn't take much to stir an emotion. I understand that is the quasi-animal part. There's intelligence in animals as well. And then the 4th level is my need for a relationship with God. My deepest need is a life of purpose and meaning, as Viktor Frankl so exquisitely expresses in his Man Search of Meaning. That's a 4th level. That's unique to the human being. His meaning. Dolphins, dogs, elephants, all are very intelligent creatures, extremely. The elephants, they can paint. If you saw this, crazy stuff. They can paint. They can imitate the painter. They can do drawings. But they cannot consider, there's no meaning. There's no conscious. What's my purpose? That's human being, the fourth level. So we're bringing down the essential what's the fifth level? I am Jewish. That's what's unlocked. We are one. But now we're bringing it down level by level into my meaningful life. Suffusing it, that's level one. That's today. Today is, therefore, I'm dedicated to live a life of meaning in every aspect of my life. What does meaning mean? A life that reflects that we are one. And tomorrow I'm going to understand and embrace it. That's tomorrow's avodah. And then next day, feel it. And then finally, it's going to be acted upon in every detail. But today, it's about rededicating the direction of my life, what I want in life. I want it to be you, the emes. I want it to be the life that reflects the purpose for which I'm here. Today's about re-embracing the purpose. Then it comes down mind and heart and behavior in the subsequent 3 days that follow. And then we're ready for Sukkot. Very ready to share it with the world. Shake it up. Shake up the world. That's a little bit essek, shake it. So that's what's going on right now, my dear friends. We are in the throes of an exquisite and extraordinary and powerful rejuvenation of our whole relationship with Hashem, starting from the core, I am one with God. I'll conclude with this. When the previous Rebbe, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak, was a child, so he asked his father, who was the Rebbe then, the Rebbe Rashab, Rabbi Shalom Doiber, he asked him, Father, what now? It was after Yom Kippur, last night. What now? After going through the whole Elul and Slichas, Rosh Hashanah, what now? Now Yom Kippur and Ne'ilah. His father said to him, now we have to begin first to tshuva. So I want to illustrate this with a famous story. Now we have to do tshuva. We just finished. Surely, sincerely. It's a famous story with a great sage, Rabbi Sadji Gaon, who lived some 800 years ago, 900 years ago. One of our greatest leaders, teachers, authors. So Rabbi Sadji Gaon, Gaon means His Excellency. It also means a great scholar, a giant of a scholar. He was once traveling, and he came to a certain city, a certain town. He came in the evening, at night, and was directed, maybe came with a small entourage, directed to the local Jewish hotel, the local Jewish inn, where he was received by the innkeeper, who didn't know this is Rab Sadji Gaon. He gave him a key and a towel and a bar of soap. Fine. The next day, people come streaming to the inn from all over to receive the blessing from the great tzaddik, to get counsel, to get rulings on points of halacha. The great Rabbi Sadji Gaon. So the innkeeper realizes, Gewalt, this is Rabbi Sadji Gaon. So the fella falls at his feet, tears streaming down his cheeks, begging for forgiveness. Rabbi Sadji Gaon picks him up, kisses him on the forehead. My good man, what are you doing? He says, Rebbe, forgive me. Rabbi Sadji Gaon says, forgive you for what? He says, for the way I received you last night. Rabbi Sadji Gaon said it was all in perfect order. There's nothing to ask forgiveness for. To which the tearful innkeeper responded, yes, Rebbe, but had I known it was you, it would be completely different. Now that we've come after Yom Kippur, and now that we've savored this deep connection that we all savor together, but the Shema Yisrael, now that we've touched our connection so deeply, then the way I served you till now, Gewalt, had I known it was you, be completely different. This lifts us. After all we did, God's love is revealed to us in this unconditional, ever deeper way. Oy, even the good things I did, even my mitzvahs before, now assume a whole new level. Now starts the real tshuva. Tafka after Yom Kippur. All right, my dear friends. A wonderful Shabbos. Shabbos between Yom Kippur and Sukkot, gewaldige Shabbos, and hope to see you all over Sukkot. Obviously, David will see you Sukkot, Simchas Torah for sure. Ari, come by one of the nights, one of the days, but for sure Simchas Torah.
Thank you, Rabbi.
All right, dear.
Shabbos, Rabbi.
Good
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good Yontif. Good
Shabbos.
Good Yom.
Good Yontif.
Bottom line.
Beautiful.